Jay here. No, this isn't my 1 week review video because my 1 week review video I had filmed with my phone and uploaded to Google Drive, and then they updated the software, and once I updated the software on my desktop, my video went poof. So I don't know where my first video I filmed went, but it's gone. So this is a refilming of my 1 week of use video of the Davinci 3D printer. So, let me start over. Hi, this is Jay. Did you like how I did that? This is my 1 week review, actually like 8.5 days. Review of my Davinci 1.0 Alpha printer. Just the standard single head printer. Not the scanner one, not the dual head, just the standard basic printer. And I've had it for about a week now, and I think I've got 138 hours of printing in a week. And you're going, holy crap, do you work? Actually, I was off because I had surgery to my eye, and so up close I can't see a lot in my left eye. Far away, like watching TV, I'm usually pretty good because I'm mostly watching out of my right eye. But up close, it's hard for me to focus. So all I've been doing is printing like canned models for the last few days since I had my operation. But the Davinci, like I said, I put almost 140 hours in this thing, and it's printing another 10-hour one right now. Again, if you haven't seen it, I'll post my original video here down below. I picked this up with 7 cartridges of filament for $469.70 shipped from Newegg. So for me, that was a really good deal. It's 7 cartridges of filament and the printer for less than what the printer's selling for on Amazon right now. And you can go look that up. These prices are in flux everywhere, especially because the new printers they've got coming out, they've been dropping this from $4.99 to $3.99 pretty regularly and put it back up. But at $500, let's just say you go buy it at Amazon, you pay $500. Is it worth it? Yes. Like I said, I got 140 hours worth of printing. Right now I'm working on my submarine. I'll show you some of the pieces. Each of these is about 9 hours to print. See, I'm printing another piece now, and then there's like 2 more pieces to the submarine. And that's my thing. I print subs on all my 3D printers. So the quality. No, this is not a $2,000 or $2,800 replicator. No, it's not a $2,000 Airwolf or a $1,500 Lulzbot. This is a $500 printer that, oh crap, Johnny needs a Saturn model for his school report. Or, oh no, I need some new napkin rings for the dinner party on Friday night. That's where this printer really excels, because there is no setup. Look around and you can watch my other videos. I 3D print a lot. And one of the bane of existence, especially on the printers that are older than about a year, and like my Delta Orion, you're constantly setting your levels. You got to make sure that little noodle prints perfectly. This one you still have to manually set up, but it came from the factory supposedly set up. So I said, okay. I chucked the cartridge in there and hit print. I've done no setups. Okay? No setups. It's printing out of the box. Now, is this the, high-end, ultra-smooth, glass-like 0.1 resolution? No. It'll do 0.1, and I'll get to that, but mostly this is a 0.2, 0.3 standard printer. Okay, this is printed in 0.2. I gotta stare at it. And if I'm looking over here and talking to you, again, it's my eye. If you hear this, now I can't do it. I did it for the practice. Now I can't do it. Anyway, there's a tiny bit of record grooving or Z-banding in here. Now, as I said previously, and I was incorrect, you can flash the EEPROM to a Repetier host firmware. This model and newer, you can't. That's the original version 1 no rev. So I was wrong in that. But what you can use with this is Simplify 3D, which is over here running on my laptop. And I'm loading it to the SD card. I'm not running it off USB. But one of the things that you can do with Simplify is improve the resolution, because it's got so many different tweaks you can use with the Davinci. Now this will be a call for you to go buy, because that software is $140 over the purchase price. And I already had it because use it on other printers, so I've already had it. For most people, especially people eyeing this printer in the $500, jump in to see how it is range, I really don't think you need it. I think the XYZware, which is what I use to print all the purple, I think the XYZware is fine for 90% of the people that are looking to purchase this printer. Because in that other 10%, you're going to have the hackers, the people are going to take it apart and rebuild it with new components. I've seen that. Or you're going to hack it and flash the EEPROM. And there are people working on that for this series, but they haven't got it working yet. Or, people that just want a printer to throw stuff up as like a printer farm, because it's such inexpensive and it does print well in the 0.2 to 0.3. Now let me address the 0.1, and you'll hear me talk about this in my other videos about other printers. You can get a lot of printers that say 0.1 or even smaller capable, but to dial that perfect squish in to the 0.1 squish and to get it level so well in your print area, you just about have to set it up for the 0.1. It really won't run the 0.2 or 0.3 because it's all dialed in so close. As a matter of fact, I can't find it now, but as a matter of fact, I just got the Craftbots in, and they've got a setup card, for to check your spacing. And it says right on it, this is a 0.3 millimeter setup spacing card. Not 0.2, not 0.1, 0.3. So, will this satisfy the uber guy, the uber geeky? No, don't go buy this, guys. Unless you want to do like me, use this as a printer farm. Or as a secondary printer, or a printer for the kids to use, or a printer for the wife to use, but I get that. I actually bought my wife a Craftbot. If you watch my other videos of the Craftbots that I got in, you'll see. So anyway, 1 week, almost 140 hours of printing. It's worth it. It's worth it at the $500 open price it's at. It's worth it at the $399 sale price. It's even worth it if you pay. Yeah, let me back up. The $500 sale price, $469.70 that I got this in 7 cartridges. Worth it. Oh yeah, every penny. The $399 sales price that this goes on regularly. Yes, worth every penny. $499. You're starting to get where you're going to sort of bleed off. But at $500, this thing is still worth the money. And the reason being is because it has a heated bed. It's got an enclosed print area. It's got a fairly large, 7.8 by 7.8 by 7.8. That's a fairly large build area. And it does ABS well, okay? And ABS is a little harder to print than PLA. So a printer that can print ABS well is choice. But that doesn't mean it's going to print PLA well, and it's not going to. I should hold on a second. It's early morning, I've had 4 cups of coffee. I haven't been to work for a week because we know my deal. Okay. And a lot of your inexpensive PLA printers that are set up and open, open being that, they don't have any guards or anything on them. And they're like the simple metals and stuff like that. Now they do print PLA well, but they don't print ABS well because they're not enclosed and they don't have a heated bed, which you need for ABS. Now, problems. 3 days into this, I spalled a piece of glass out of the middle of the print bed. And that's where using the glue or whatever you use to hold it down on the glass, and I basically print on glass. I don't use the glue. I don't even think I got any laying around here. I just print on glass. But anyway, when you create a suction, okay, and as that thing cools and wants to torque, it can actually pull a piece of the glass out. And that's what this did. So I was like, great, I got to take the glass out and balance the bed and everything's set up and I'm all cheesed on that. So I put my trouble ticket in and XYZ responded pretty quickly and told me to take the entire print bed off and send it to them. Because apparently, this is the way they do to save money. So I'm not going to knock them really on this because it is how they save money. Typically you have your heater substrate. You have another substrate on top of the heater as your radiant source. And then you either print on that metal substrate or you put another substrate on top that you print on. If you want to print on glass, that glass goes on top and it's mechanically held down with binder clips or, something like that. In the race to save money, XYZ Printing took the glass print bed and skipped the substrate and glued the heating pad element directly to the bottom of the glass. So it saves money, it saves setup, it saves a little bit of slop because you got to set binder clips. Now this all glued together and bolted in. The problem being, it's glass, guys. Glass breaks, glass cracks. So now that it's cracked or broken, mine's just got a little divot in the middle. It's pulled right up. I'll have pictures, I'll put on it. But now that the divot's in the glass, I have to print around it and send it back in to get it fixed. So it's going to be down for a week and a half or two. So, and my replicator's down waiting on a cable. So, such is the life of 3D printing. But, so besides that, I've been using the XYZware. And the XYZware, I mean, it does a pretty bang-up job. It does have limitations, okay? But, I mean, this is the bottom. My wife made me print a bunch of elves, for Christmas, because I had some from last year, and people went, ooh. So, of course, she said, print some people some elves. So, anyway, all the purple I did on here. And the white, I'm sorry. All the purple and white I did on here. And it printed well. I mean, it actually printed in some areas as good as a $2,000 printer. So I'm happy with that. It did well. And this is on the XYZ Makerware, okay? Or XYZware, not Makerware, that's MakerBot. The XYZware. And again, for 90% of the people that are buying this, the XYZware is going to be fine. Okay, for your napkin rings and your golf tees and your kids' projects and stuff. Really, if you guys just want to print one model down at a time off Thingiverse or whatever, go get your one, because it'll do that. The software will do that. Now, using the Simplify 3D, and which is, okay, wow, too much coffee. The one downside for XYZware, and I'll run into this more than 90% of the other people out there, is that big programs choke it. There's, some people say a 20 meg file, CAD file, will choke this. I've actually seen an 8 meg file choke it. This one last night's about, I think this is an 8.6 meg. It choked XYZware. But I'm not printing it on there anyway. I'm using Simplify 3D. So, if you're going to print big engineering files, now most of the stuff you download is only like 1600 or like 1.6K. They're small files. It's just these strange ones. Like this whole thing probably ain't 8 megs. This one piece was. And it's just the way it's designed and the triangles and everything. So, anyway, the XYZware will choke a little bit on big programs. I'm using Simplify 3D for the bigger programs. Now, but one of the things I'm running into is that Simplify 3D is having slicing errors. What? I had a picture of a submarine this front part of a submarine. And of course, like I said, I uploaded my video and then promptly threw away my pieces and now they're gone. But it had a little divot in the side where it had countersunk some triangles from the slicing software. It also prints a blind manifold every once in a while, which means, like, it started printing the bottom of this. See that right there? It started printing this and then started printing across it a manifold or a blind floor, which is a slicing error because, as you can tell, there is no floor or manifold. So I'm having to go run some of these files through NetFab Basic to clean them up and then letting them slice on Simplify 3D. Now, I've used Simplify 3D for a while now, and I've used it on everything. I've never had these errors, but I did just upgrade it to the newest version so it will run on the Davinci. So maybe there's a bug fix out there. I don't know. So that's for all you cats using Simplify 3D. Check it really good because there appears to be some slicing errors in the new release for the XYZ Davinci. And if you don't know what Simplify 3D is, Simplify 3D is a separate software front end that allows you to set up the file to send into the printer. Okay? You don't have to have it. It's more of an advanced kind of function thing. So if this is like Egyptian going over your head, don't worry about it. It's not important. One other thing I did have cartridges. I know this is the bane of existence of a lot of people, okay? Oh, I bought this damn printer, it uses cartridges. No crap, Sherlock, did you not read the description? 90% of the one-star reviews on Amazon and probably 60% of the people that complain on YouTube say, oh, these printer cartridges, dude, you bought the freaking printer, did you not read? It's like buying a car and saying, I gotta put gas in it every week. No kidding. This is a filament cartridge printer, okay? Either buy a resetter tool and reset your cartridges and don't complain about it because you're voiding the warranty or hacking it or whatever. Or read the freaking manual, dude. Of course this uses cartridges. How they save money. That's how they sell it so cheap. That's why this one's $4.99, $3.99 on sale instead of $1,000 for most of them. Okay? Get a clue, guys. It has to use cartridges. So now that I've got my rant about the cartridge complainers out there. There it is. And I'll show you a cartridge in case you don't know. Because you clicked on the link and you're going, 3D printing? Davinci? What is that? This is the 3D printer, and this is the cartridge it uses. This uses standard 1.75 ABS filament, and it's pretty accurate. Mine has been. It prints really good. I haven't had any usual FUBAR printing problems that you get with some of the cheaper ABS. It has 1.2 pounds of filament in here, and 1.2 pounds costs $28 for this print. A roll, depending on what you get and where you get it and who makes it and everything, but let's say on the average is $30. I buy a lot of Zen Toolworks material and it's about $30 a roll, depending on what. Like the white's 24, but let's say $30 a roll, just to be generous. So at $30 a roll, you're basically paying 180% for the filament. But, and here's the thing that a lot of the hacky, techie guys don't talk about. One of the good things about having it in here is it stays spooled, okay? If you've ever dropped a roll of toilet paper and it's rolled across the floor, wait till you drop a roll of this filament with 700 yards on it and it goes, wow. You just pick it up and throw it away. I'm telling you. Okay, not only that, but again, depending on who you get your filament from and how cheap it is, I've seen knots in these. I've seen the filament go all the way down. So, cheaper, but not always better, if you know what I'm saying. What are those, what do they call it? For professional users only. This just works. It stays spooled. It stays clean. It has a wiper in it. People build wipers for their rolls and install them. This already has one. Not only that, oh, I was going to grab one and I usually got one just laying around. Oh, I do. Not only that, desiccant. I keep some of my stuff in desiccant because ABS and nylon and PVA especially suck up moisture and degrade. Guess what this has inside of it? It has a desiccant bag inside and it's sealed. So before you start, I was going to say bit again, but I'm not. Before you start complaining about, it uses cartridges and they're high, think about the benefits you're getting. And again, now I use other printers, okay? But think about the benefits you're getting using the filament in a cartridge. It's sealed, it's white, and it's dry. And you can stick it anywhere. Just pull out the machine and sit it. You don't care. You don't care. You can put the little rubber stopper back in. You don't care. Chuck this across the room. So, now that I got that little mini rant about that. So the resolution is there. The print speed is, I mean, it's probably in the 70 to 90 millisecond range. And again, I can tweak that with Simplify 3D. I'm talking about the standard XYZ wear speed. I think you can get it up to like 70 or 90. So the speed's there, the resolution's there, the cost is there. I'm telling you, for the money they sell these for, it's worth the money. You can upgrade it. There's upgrades out there that you can do. You can put better bearings in it. You can use Simplify 3D. There's, you know, little things you can do. There's chip resetters that plug into the bottom of this chip and reset this cartridge, and people either make a spool holder that sits outside and you hang your spool on and run your filament in, or they crack these things open and reload them, which is not a bad idea because you're wiping it and you got a desiccant bag in there. Not a bad idea. So, one weekend, 140 hours, I'm doing 10, 12, 14, 18-hour prints. I stupidly had printed these two together and it was 18 hours. Now I'm printing them one at a time and they're about 9 to 10 hours each. Which is actually about typical. I think my replicator was about the same time frame. So these are not slow printers. Reliability, except for the glass thing. And the cartridges. Okay, let me give some fuel to the cartridge flame war. This one prints fine for like you know, these small pieces. I filmed the video and have thrown the part away now. I had made a caffeine molecule pencil holder. It's about that big and about this tall. And it got 6.5 hours through a 9-hour print and had a cartridge error. And ever since then, I noticed that anything over about 30-40 minutes seems to have a cartridge error on here. So I've only printed about 40 meters out of the 240 that's on here. So I sent a trouble ticket in, they said, send it back. They'll replace it. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a pain in the butt because I had a bad cartridge, okay? But I'm going to send it back and they're going to replace it. And I'll bet you it works. You maybe can't see it, but I've got rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls of filament. You may not be able to tell, but that roll up there is a MakerBot roll of PLA filament. That roll of PLA filament, until recently, no printer liked. It would not print in any printer. Now, luckily, my new CraftBot loves it. Okay? So, now you got these rolls, especially MakerBot, which is like $42 a roll. Now you got a roll, and it won't print on your new printer, and this happens, if you ask around, it happens. So you're out 30, 40 bucks. It's sitting there. I mean, I bought a roll of flexible filament, and it would not print on one of my machines, so I gave it to somebody. Well, you know, it's $42. Gone. This will always print. If it doesn't, send it back. They'll fix it. This will always print. So that's a little fuel that, I had a problem. But it's also a little bit of fuel that they'll replace it, and this always works. So let's see, who can I cheese off now? I've told you hackers, you're too whiny. I've told you beginners, you're too stupid. Let's see. I complained about my Samsung Galaxy, so I pissed off the Android guys. I pissed off the Google guys because this damn Google Drive didn't work. This coffee's okay. No, but seriously. Right now I give it a 7. A solid 7. For 1 week of use, 140 hours. And most of you aren't going to put but 20 to 30 hours a week on this thing. I'm tripling and quadrupling your times. But, so I give it a solid 7. I get that glass fixed, and I get Simplify 3D dialed in a little bit better to get my speeds and feeds up. This is a solid 8. A solid 8 for 500 bucks. Or cheaper. Or a lot cheaper, depending on your deals. Okay? And it prints well. Again, I'm printing my submarine. Okay? As you can tell, that looks pretty good. You know, from one... Now, these little cracks in here don't. I got to go back and fill that in, and I got to prime the whole thing. But that's true on any of these because of the way they fit together. They have these little flanges. Okay? And you've got to hand fit these flanges together. It's a little bit of pain. But anyway, so I printed all that. I've printed stands. I've printed ashtrays. I've printed vape stands. So you're saying, Jay, break it down for us. Oh, this is for an 80s or 90s kicker. No, not. That's strange. Anyway, For 95% of the people that would purchase this, this is going to be perfect. Either it's uber easy to use, throw it in print, or it's going to have just enough, tweaking. There's enough areas to tweak that would satisfy most, junior hackers, younger students, high schoolers, middle school. This would be perfect for. Or somebody like me that just want to throw parts, and I don't mind hacking a little bit. But I'm not going to be taking this thing apart and checking that the chrome alloy rods were hardened to a certain specific. I do that on my reloading and stuff. But anyway, so for 95%, it's a good purchase. For that 5% that are not into that, then no, go get a craft bot or a replicator or even a rep kit, something you can take apart and go, oh, I lost chest hairs putting that together. Otherwise, just go get this in print. So in closing, as Such00 says, be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, and long live the Republic. This is Jay. See you in my other videos, and I've got some other ones coming out. I can't talk. Anyway, good night. Have a good night.